And I guess I'm a crazy person. Welcome back to the girls' room. So, the other day, my cousin thought that I was describing my dream man when I was actually describing myself. So, that tells me a few things. You know, I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. I mean, she really thought I was describing my dream man. She was like, oh yeah, those are the characteristics you want in a man, right? No, that's what I want in myself. I want somebody that wants me to want to be strong and all these things because I am. Like, I'm really not a soft girl as much as I think I want to be. I want this soft girl era. I kind of don't. Like, when I get married and have kids, yeah, I don't want to work because I want to raise these children. That's a full-time job. But outside of that, like, I love, like, I don't love pain, but I just love the feeling of putting everything you have into something and getting that reward from all of like the blood, sweat, and tears and getting my hands dirty. Like, I love that. And yeah, maybe I am looking to expand certain dominant traits, but maybe I'm just a more dominant girl. Like, I am a soft, squishy thing and I fold to a really strong man because I've done it. So I know that I'm capable of being soft, but I also am like, I cannot see myself like she sees herself as just, oh, I'll have a little fake job and I guess I kind of can work if he wants me to, but I don't want to work. I'm like, I would be bored because I have not worked before on like, you know, fun employment, travel, whatever. I get bored. Like, I would just have to consistently travel so that I don't get bored, but like, no, I love it. I love that fast paced energy and environment, and that's why I'm in marketing, because only crazy people are in marketing. Okay, so remember when we were talking about lists? I think that right now it's very, very common to hear about how women are creating a list, or men also, just people create a list for what they want in a partner. That's something that like my granny told me at one point. It's just like, just write your list and send it to God. Just put it in the mail. Don't put a return address on it. And I think that's kind of what we've been trained or training to do now. Just write down all the things that you want. And I think that's a great idea. But we also need to think about who we want to be. And so that's what I've been leaning into, is writing the list of characteristics and traits that I want to see in myself. And so my family friend, cousin, came over the other day and she was talking about how her therapist said, think about your dream guy. Like, if you saw him at a park or something like that. And, you know, this dream guy has the traits that you've listed, but think about the girl that he's with. In this imaginary scenario, your dream man has a girlfriend or has a wife, and the idea is for you to write down the traits that you think his partner has. So essentially, it's like, what are the traits that you need to become to attract the man that you want? And I think that's such a cool way to just kind of break it down, because it's not just, oh, I want him to be X, Y, and Z, but these traits of this man that you want to build or want to find or want to have, what type of woman is he with? And it was interesting to hear how her therapist kind of like brought that together, because that's definitely something that's been sitting in my brain. It's like, what kind of woman is the man of my dreams attracted to? Okay, so let me actually do my hair. So in creating this list for this man or my partner, it's almost like as I'm writing, or I noticed that as I was writing this list about things I want in a partner, I'm like, oh yeah, these are things I want in myself. And so I think that that's great, not expecting someone to provide you with things that you can't provide yourself and that you can't provide them. But I also realize nobody wants to marry themselves, and it doesn't make any sense to marry yourself. I could not marry myself. That would be disastrous. Like, who's gonna get us places on time? Who's gonna ground us? So it's almost like I need to create a list of my flaws that aren't like huge character flaws, like organization. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, that is something I kind of lack. And I can do it when needed, but my natural state is to just kind of be a little chaotic. Like, it's functional chaos, which I think is very similar to my job. It's like you gotta go. Like, I'm very action based, but I need somebody to help me so that we can get these things done. And I'm like such a free spirit and so in the clouds half the time that I know that that's like a deficit that I'd want my partner to fill in. Like, I know that that's something I want a partner to be able to help with. Because some things I'm like, I don't need to be the most organized person before I get married. Like, hopefully you're organized for the both of us, and I'll get better. Like, I'm not gonna come into a marriage a perfect person, but I'll be my whole self. Like, I need to for sure write a list of the things that I think I need to address, and just things that I think I need help with. Like, maybe I'm just not an organized person. Maybe I am just really not punctual. I don't know. So my partner will need to lie to me. But anyways, with this list, I started realizing that a lot of the things that I want in a man, I want to see in myself. And I started to freak out a little bit because I'm like, I don't know if the type of man I want, which, traditional Christian, strong alpha man, wants a traditional, strong Christian alpha woman. Like, I don't know if that creates a lot of balance. But yeah, so as I was writing this list, I'm like, okay, I think that I need to be softer because I think that this man that I describe and that I want is gonna want a soft woman. Like, he's gonna want to take the lead, which I also think that I would love. Like, I want to submit to a leader. I will follow suit. Like, I'm not over here like, you have to fit into me. I'm like, no, I will literally be flexible. Like, you like my hair straight? Straightening it. You want it curly? Cool. I will never see a flat iron again. Like, I want a strong person, but I kind of realized, does a strong person want me? But I also think that I would naturally soften up with the right person. I think my dream man is with a strong woman. And I don't think that all alpha males have beta wives. Like, I think that it is extremely beneficial to have somebody that you can really bounce ideas off of and lean on both sides, because I think that men carry a lot of weight and a lot on their shoulders. Like, we expect them to be so many things, but in a partnership and in a marriage, you have to bring something to the table. Like, is he gonna want to come home to a wife that can't do anything but cook and clean? No. How's he gonna grow? And he's just built. He's like, nah, I don't need anything. I just need my dinner made. Like, really? Okay, well, I feel like you're not really, being honest there, buddy. But, or maybe you're just going to your friends for all your advice, which I think might be troubling, unless all your friends are successfully married and business owners and all that. But, and also, that's not to say I don't want to cook and clean, because being a traditional wife, which is something I want to be, yeah, absolutely, I can cook and clean. But also, are we both working? because I kind of like my job, but I'm okay not climbing the ladder. Like, if you have, you know, goals, I think that, well, my future husband will be very ambitious, and he'll need to probably be away from the house a little more than me because he's working for the family. And I want to be working for the family too, but I'm mostly like working for myself because I like what I do. And I don't technically have to work, but I like to work, and I love just the feeling I get when I succeed at something. And I work hard for it. But even with my job, like, I would want to make sure that I'm still capable and have the capacity to like cook and clean for sure, because I actually like cooking and I don't mind cleaning at all. Like, I don't like a messy or dirty, like, it might be a little mess, but I don't like a dirty house at all. Drives me crazy. So if that's what he wants, a wife that cooks and clean, I can be that. But I also want to be able to be someone that you can lean on when you're like second guessing a decision and you really need like that backbone. And I want to be like your crown. Like, I want to be someone that you can trust with your decisions emotionally, professionally, and we can really have conversations that spark growth on both sides. I think it's crazy to think that men don't need that. I'm like, I think that you need an equal. You need an equal. And that's really what I'm learning about the list that I'm making of what I want in myself and of my partner. I want to share a lot of like core traits, which to me are just like the ambitious side, the faith side, you know, the political side. Like, I definitely want to see eye to eye on that, because we voting as a family. That's kind of the only way I think you should do it. I think that what I'm gathering is I want an equal, compatible in a lot of ways, but I want him to just be more of a leader, I want him to be a man, the man. Like, I don't want to rob this man of, you know, fighting for the family. Like, I want that. And I hope he wants that. I'm not going to go for anybody that's like, we just need to be, you know, both fighting for the family. It's like, yes and no. Because at the end of the day, like, you're the man of the house. Like, you can lean on me when you need that partner in war, but you're the commander in chief. So yes, we're both giving it our all. We're both working hard and all this, but I don't really feel like it's 50, like, I don't know. There are just certain providing things. Like, I want him to be like, this is my family, this is my girl. I'm rocking for her. I'm doing everything that I need so that she's not stressing and she can have a job for fun. Like, her job is for funsies, but it's not going to make or break anything. And if something happens with me, we have a backup plan. Or, you know, if something happens with him and his job or whatever it is, we have a backup plan. And of course, I can fill in those ways. But if you have like such a beta wife, she might not fill in. She's just like, okay, what's next, hubby? And you're stressing out because you have to bear all the responsibility and all the weight on your shoulders. And I don't think that's fair at all. So, you know, we'll see just in this stage what kind of men actually are interested in someone like me. I think most men, because I soften up. I really, really do. And one of my male friends, like, I was telling him that a couple guys have called me a little dominant, and not in a bad way, but just like, oh, you're kind of dominant. You're kind of like an alpha, or, you know, whatever. And I told him that, and he was like, really? You're never like that over here. Like, you just soft and bubbly and all this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It really just depends on where I am. Like, if I'm in a room full of betas, yeah, you might call me dominant. But when I'm with strong men, and he's not even like such an alpha male at all, but he's a man. Like he's a man, you know? And so I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm really not these ways. And I feel like with my male friendships as well, like I can see the benefit in them having like a strong female, or not, but in them having a strong female friend, because we're actually having real conversations that I think are super helpful to both. Like I like thinking things through a little differently and being challenged a little bit, like with respect, you know, like maybe you don't agree with everything I say. You should not. I don't agree with everything I say sometimes. I'm still molding. I'm never gonna be the type of person that's like, I've always felt the same way. I've never changed my position on this since I was 15 or 16 or 20 or whatever. I'm like, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'll say this. I think that my perfect man is not gonna feel threatened by a successful woman. And I'm not trying to climb the ladder, the corporate ladder at all, but I want to build something. I just need to execute on, you know, a lot of things that I'm working on, and I think that I'm doing a really good job right now of just like laying the foundation. And so I'm kind of feeling a little more comfortable leaning into dating and, you know, my lover girl side, because I kind of know what I want and where I'm headed. And starting to make plans, which is great. I'm like, okay, I'm developing a lot of these traits that I feel like I was lacking in, like organization or planning. Like I'm not notoriously the best planner. But as of late, I've noticed, okay, if I don't plan, who's gonna do it? I'm not married right now, so I have to do it. And so it's actually such a blessing to be single, because I have to move in certain ways if I want to be successful. I can't rely on mommy and daddy because they moved to Florida. And I can't rely on this husband because he's not here yet. So all that stuff I was thinking in the past, which has just kind of been, I don't know, the past however long, of just thinking, oh, it'll be fine when I get married, it'll be fine, like I don't need to plan, I don't need to budget. I'm like, you keep saying you don't need to do all this stuff until you get married, but you're not married and you're 32, and who's gonna budget for you? Nobody. So what, you're gonna come into a marriage poor? Or just kind of like, oh, okay, I don't have anything going on, like I have a job, but that's it. Like, I mean, it's not even for the other person, it's not for him, it's for me. Like, I want to succeed in life, and I cannot wait on anyone else. I can't rely on the government, I can't rely on friends and family, and I do not want to. And this period of being single is really pushing me in amazing ways. And you know, I feel like it's taken time to even get to a point where there's gratitude for being single. Like in these moments now, I know how to, you know, spend my time a little more wisely and spend my money a little more wisely. I think that's the biggest takeaway lately, is the budget, because that's the thing I've been focusing on the most. Because it's kind of easy. I'm like, oh wait, I need to know where my money's going. Let me start listening to podcasts. Let me start just kind of dissecting what it is I want. And so, okay, I have that down. Not perfect, but I like where I'm headed. With work, it's the same. Like, because I have to work, you know, I actually have bills to pay for, where I didn't really have to before. And in relationships, I feel like, you know, you can kind of get away with not paying for as much, especially as a woman. And I have. I definitely have. But I like that I know I can do a lot of this stuff for myself. And I'm happy that I'm at this stage where I'm learning more about myself and learning things that I want to learn. Like, I am forever curious. I I'm so excited about learning. I'm so excited about just life. And I want to be excited about this next phase of like dating and just this phase of dating in general, the way that I am excited about everything else. And so I also need to know myself. Like, yeah, I'm looking for, a guy that does all these things and I want him to be an alpha, but I'm kind of also somebody that likes to take the lead in certain situations. Like, I don't have to wait for this man to do everything because that's not what my life is going to be. Otherwise, I'd be a beta. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to let you take the lead in everything. You have to do this, you have to do that. But I'm starting to reevaluate how I'm even approaching this dating game, which is so annoying because it really is a game. It's so stupid and I hate it. Where you're like, okay, he has to text you first. He has to ask you blah, blah, blah. And there are certain things I probably won't compromise too much on. Like, I'm like literally not paying for a date, especially the first date. Like, when we're in it, okay, cool. But I also want somebody that doesn't even want me to lift a finger. I'm like, I just got my nails done. I didn't even bring a wallet. No, I would never not have a wallet because that's crazy and very unprepared. You just never know what's going to happen. You might need your ID for something disastrous. But I don't know that I'm the girl that just like sits around and needs to be wooed in certain traditional ways. So I guess like me defining what traditional is and what parts of it I'm okay with, because I don't want to be a beta, and I guess that's kind of traditional as a woman and as a wife and mother. It's just like you tend to your husband and that's it. You don't tend to yourself. Yourself is baked into your husband. I don't want that. And I don't know that that's even proper traditionalism. Like, I want to, pour into you, of course. Like, me pouring into you is me pouring into the family, because that's what this is about. But I also don't see myself keeping up that act for a long time. Like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for you to do everything. Like, no, I'm a go-getter. I take action. I'm not gonna wait around for you. Like, we'll talk about things for sure. Like, you're my partner, I'm your partner. And don't you forget it. So it's kind of like with work. It's like, I need you to know that I can take ownership when you're not present. Like, I don't need you to always be the one to initiate something, unless that's just what you want to do because you're just quick with it and I don't even have a chance to because you're just amazing and wonderful. But yeah, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl that's just going to be sitting around waiting for you to figure out our life. It's like, okay, I have a suggestion. Let's try this. Why not? You ain't got nothing on your mind, which is okay, in moments, because you need time to think. And wouldn't it be nice if you had a nice crutch, in your wife and in your partner? So that's what I want. This man that I'm building in my brain wants someone that he can also, be soft with, though. Like, I want him to be able to come home from a long day of work, making the family rich and successful and happy, and come to me with like his problems. It's like, hey, I had a really interesting day at work. What do you think strategically, but also like Netflix and chill, like a little massage, for sure, absolutely. Like, I don't want you to have to think about anything. Like, I want you to know, and I want to also know that if you want to take some time even off of work because you need a new job, because these people stressing you out, I got it. We'll figure it out together. Together is always better to me. Well, I think that ultimately I need to refine. We all should be refining the list for ourselves. Like, we are the subject in our list. We gotta stop with the whole, this is what I want my man to be. I think we have enough on that list. Like, it shouldn't even be that deep. Like, my list, and because people ask me, it's like, oh, what do you want in a partner? Like, it's honestly very simple. I just want somebody that kind of fills in the gaps. Like, somebody that wants to provide and like has a spark to it, that really, not because he thinks he's supposed to or because that's what his mom told him, but like he is just a natural provider and wants to spoil me and his children. Like, he wants me to be able to, get my nails done and get my hair done and be soft and have time to want to cook and clean. Because if I'm working hard because we need two incomes, then you cannot expect me to come home and happily or unhappily cook and clean. That's not realistic. So, figuring out what kind of woman he would want is kind of essential. Like, do alpha men want women that don't do anything outside of the house? Or, are there levels? I think there are levels. Like, not every man is the same, not every alpha is the same. I think everybody in general just wants to be heard and seen, and I think kind of challenged. Like, not in a I'm challenging you every day, but just in a growth way. Like, how do you not want to grow? Like, you have to put yourself in the fire a little bit, and when you get uncomfortable, it's kind of a sign, or not uncomfortable, but when you feel like there's something you want to do that kind of scares you a little bit, I feel like that's a sign to do it. And we're all gonna have those moments, and for me, I want to be the person that gives you the confidence to try new things and to challenge yourself and to continue to grow and really be able to grow, because you know that your person, me, your wife, has got it under control. I'm like, no, I can trust her. I'm doing something crazy, but she's gonna rock for me. Like, she's down with whatever I'm down with. Because that's true, because I'm gonna trust you wholeheartedly. So if you're making a decision, maybe I might question it a little bit internally. I might talk to some of my married friends, or just first and foremost talk to God about it. And like, okay, I am the person that wants to follow her husband. He is a leader. He is a God-fearing man. He has a great heart. He loves me and loves his family. I want to, without too much resistance, follow his lead. So that means this man is going to have like just really good instincts, and that's something we'll probably need to know. I'll probably need to know or see in him before we get married. It's like, put an obstacle in front of him and he doesn't know what's mean. It's like, I'm just kind of looking from the back, like, how's he gonna handle this? How does he react to stress? Like little tests like that. I think that's what dating's about, is really like testing people to see, are you the one? Are you? Because I'm not here to play. I am not going to be playing games with you at all. But yeah, write down a list, of who your perfect man would be with. Like, what kind of wife is he with? And maybe I need to do some digging with some of my friends, like my male friends, my alpha friends. What kind of person are you looking for? Just like gather data safely with people that I trust and go from there. Like, what kind of spouse would really be beneficial. Like, I want to be an asset and I want you to be an asset, and I'm not ever really going to be asking you to provide something that I can't provide or that I don't want to see in myself, which is why there's a little moneyness on whether I'm describing my perfect man or me. But maybe both. Like, I just want you to fill in on things that matter but don't make or break. Like, I hope that me being not the most punctual person all the time doesn't break a relationship, because I'll fix it. I'll definitely fix it. Or like my organization skills, like I'm learning to do that just with work anyways, but you know, I think that's just something to think about for the next time in the girls' room. So see you in the girls' room.